Welcome to Greasy Popcorn's presentation of More Dangerous Than Dynamite, a California State Fire Marshal Office safety film distributed by the University of California Berkley. The film was produced by Chester and Hess and Guy D. Haselton of Panorama Pictures of Hollywood. Captain O.J. Emory of the Los Angeles Fire Department provided technical assistance for the movie. Storyline. The film highlights the mayhem that surrounds fires and other safety hazards in the home. Strangely, it begins with random stuff blowing up. Hillsides, cars, bridges, farmhouses. Wow. It looks as if anywhere the producers could get some stock footage of explosions, it was used in the movie. It's really a wonder how anyone survived in this time period. It seems that one could just blow up when walking down the street or reading a book. A passenger car blows up just driving through a grassy meadow. Boom, gone. A random concrete bridge just sitting between two peaceful hillsides. Boom, gone. Crazy. Next, we meet a young housewife, a woman who, as it happens, is not married to her house, preparing to wash her clothes in gasoline. Yeah, you heard that right. Housewives of the day evidently had cans of gasoline just sitting around the house waiting for wash day. Do-it-yourself dry cleaning? Well, it turns out that washing one's clothes in a violently flammable and explosive liquid, especially indoors, is not a particularly smart idea. Sure, we put gasoline in our cars and trucks to make them run, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't use the same substance to wash our clothes, right? Oh, this is a small thing, but she actually scrubs her gasoline-soaked clothes with her bare hands. What could go wrong? Over to the other safety issues of this completely impossible to ensure household. Fuse burnt out? Just slip a penny in the socket to bridge the circuit. Frayed electrical cord? Hide it under the carpet where it can be stepped on over and over again. And of course, smoking in bed. After all, isn't life short enough? Why not quicken things? If it's not cancer and stroke from the cigarettes, just relax under the covers with a nice smoke. What could happen? Oh, we almost forgot. The oil-soaked rags. Yes, the oil-soaked rags. What kind of house is this exactly? How did anyone survive in this era past the age of 20? Now, back to the dry cleaning housewife. You know, the one using a tub of gasoline to wash her dress and blouse. 3 words. Cheesy animated flames. So how does this over-the-top safety movie end? Stay tuned for More Dangerous Than Dynamite, and don't forget to hang around to the end of the movie for the usual production credits. See you in a few minutes.
Every year, thousands of persons are killed and millions of dollars in damage is done through pure carelessness in the home. Here are some of the commonest causes of fires and accidents. Yes, many of us do this on chilly mornings, but jumping out of an airplane is safer. Another thing, always shut the gas off at the pipe valve, too. Gas hose and hose connections often leak. Permanent connections are better. You heard of the ostrich burying its head in the sand so it can't see danger. Fuse plugs are the safety valves of your electrical system. To place pennies behind them is to remove that safety factor. Fire is the certain result. Keep lamp cords in plain sight. Then you can see when they're worn out. Yes, it still occurs in some of our best families, and it's nearly always fatal. This is often as sure and as effective as the electric chair. Burn rubbish in an approved incinerator. Combustible dust mixed with air is highly explosive. Wrapped in paper, it can be burned safely. Have you one of these in your home? Open paint buckets, oil-soaked rags, just the dish for spontaneous combustion. Most people know of the fire hazards of gasoline and other flammable fluids, but have not grasped the complete picture of the dangers involved. The woman using gasoline in her kitchen or elsewhere in the home with a false idea of economy does not fully realize the true high explosive character of a mixture of air and gasoline vapor. On the other hand, in dry cleaning establishments such as this, which have been licensed by the state, all work is under the supervision of men who are familiar with the properties of gasoline and experienced in fire prevention precautions. All garments to be cleaned are placed in one of these cylindrical metal washers. The gasoline or solvent is stored many feet underground in fireproof tanks. When needed, just the right amount, clean and filtered, is pumped into the washer. The housewife, however, keeps her whole supply unprotected beside her. She is subject to distractions by other domestic duties during the time she is dry cleaning, and others, even her children, are exposed to this unnecessary peril. Fire inspectors constantly check state-controlled dry cleaning plants to see that fire safeguards are in good working order. All machinery and metal parts are grounded to water pipes against vagrant currents and static electricity. Even interior metal parts are grounded with heavy copper wire. This fusible link melts at 160 degrees and closes the washer door. When this one melts, the weight drops, automatically opening a dump valve in the bottom of the washer. The solvent is instantly drained safely into the underground tanks, removing the danger. But what chance has the housewife without these safeguards? These overhead steam outlets are operated from an outside valve, filling the room with live steam to smother the fire. If an explosion occurs, these roof hatches open automatically to relieve the force. All lights are controlled by outside switches to avoid the danger from an electric arc. Electric lights are under vapor-proof globes. Fire extinguishers are plainly marked with the date of last filling. Again, the fusible link coupling is brought into use, this time to hold fireproof doors open against gravity. A pull on this valve releases steam into the washer room. But where are the steam valves here? Heavy vapors are drawn through the roof by an air duct. However, fire shuts this draft off. Here, fresh air is admitted to help carry off the vapors. Asbestos blankets placed outside each building provide protection for the workers. In this dry tumbler, suction fans withdraw the solvent vapors and expel them safely. Should the improbable happen, despite these precautions, the explosion would only force the hatches open against the valve lever, and presto, the tumbler is flooded with fire-smothering steam. But still no protecting steam for the housewife. Fires are extremely rare in state-supervised cleaning plants. However, should one occur, here's how these safeguards work. All doors close automatically. Live steam, deadliest foe of fire. Surrounded by dangers, the room slowly filling with flammable vapor, which even a tiny spark will explode. Fire on the stove. Flames under the water heater. Even if she does her cleaning outdoors, there is still the greatest danger of all, the invisible menace of static electricity. Don't run, that fans the blaze. That's it. Wrap her up. Wait, not over her head. She'll inhale the flames. Another run for the fire department, each year answering thousands of such calls. Every day, ambulances pick up victims of gasoline fires. What grim message awaits behind the panels of this silent door? Even doctors, all too familiar with pain and suffering, are touched by the needlessness of such a scene as this. But what of the other victims of this useless tragedy? The anxious father, the bewildered children, motherless perhaps. No, fortunately, not in this case, but their pretty mother, withered and scarred for life.
Welcome back. So, how did you like Greasy Popcorn's presentation of More Dangerous Than Dynamite? Please let us know in the comments section below. Copyright release notes. We believe this short feature film is in the public domain because it was released in 1941 and has been identified by the Internet Archive as being free of copyright. The copyright registrations of many films made during this period, including More Dangerous Than Dynamite, were not renewed by the studio, in this case, Panorama Pictures, as required under applicable U.S. law. As a consequence, this film has slipped into the public domain. If you have concerns about this public domain claim and you have standing in this matter, please contact us and we will revisit this decision and possibly remove this film from YouTube and our catalog. Thanks, and please remember to hit like and subscribe so you can watch new movies in the Greasy Popcorn collection as soon as we make them. Bye for now, and remember to watch out for gasoline in the kitchen, frayed power cords, and of course, smoking of any kind. You don't want to end up in the remake of this movie.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.